Talking about going to a public toilet.
Oh, you're talking about going to a public toilet?
Yes. And there are these new ones.
Oh, not the ones that you lock and stuff.
Yeah, you go. It's like on a spaceship.
Do you like them?
No.
No, I don't like them either because they also have a countdown. They have a countdown. They release the door.
Well, that's what happened.
To stop drug addicts shooting up in there and stuff. Is that what happened to you?
Well, yeah, we went in and it went psh, and you automatically get slightly claustrophobic because you go, hang on, what if there's a power?
You'd rather like a brick block place.
You walk in, you do what you have to do.
With a stainless steel mirror, graffiti, one broken toilet.
Yeah, and an odd
urinal.
person in there that you don't look at, but you just don't make eye contact with.
So the new space age one, you went in.
It's solo. It's a solo,
it's a solo endeavour, yeah.
But you go in, the door closes, and then it talks you through like a air hostess does, at the start of a flight. And then it goes like Tom Cruise on Mission Impossible. That's what you do. You have 10 minutes. It gives you 10 minutes. It's like, hello, I don't want to.
What if you're constipated?
Yeah. And then it plays All You Need Is Love.
Really?
And apparently they play the same song.
All you need is. How do they get the rights to the Beatles?
For a public toilet.
Imagine bloody Paul getting asked that. I don't know, George. What do you think? No, George is dead. You'd have to ask Ringo.
Hey, Ringo.
We've been asked.
In Australia, we're in a public toilet. So
I suppose so.
I think it's All You Need Is Love. Anyway. All you need is fiber. Anyway, there's my dad joke for you. Bang, got one away.
All you need is toilet paper.
Which was the point.
Yeah.
I went in there and you think it's got everything. It's got lights. It's got countdowns, music. No toilet paper. Surely.
No toilet paper.
If you're going to be a futuristic toilet, you should have endless toilet paper.
It didn't blow your bum dry. I didn't do that one, did it?
Well, I tell you what they did do. I don't really like to talk about this, but they said, we will flush the toilet after you've washed your hands. So it's like your mother.
Oh.
It won't flush.
God.
So you held ransom. You're not going to wash your hands? Well,
yeah.
You're just, that's just not appropriate.
Wow. So, oh, man, I read this great book once about it. He was with a taxi driver, this guy in New York, and the taxi driver kept saying he needed to go to the toilet, but he had this saying, must go familiar place.
All right.
Must go familiar place. So I'm impressed that you can just go into the public toilet, do number twos. You're fine with that?
I'm not fine with that.
Normally people leave that for home.
Look, again, let's not...
there's that weird thing where someone comes to your house and they go, can I use your toilet? You're like, yeah, sure. Then they're in there for a while. You're like, oh, my God.
Okay,
are they doing number twos?
Okay, you want to talk about it? You want to make therapy out of it? You want to talk about it?
If you're sick, I get it. If you're a little bit... I've only ever used public toilets for that kind of thing when I've been a little bit sick. And I've got to go. I've absolutely got to go. I can't hold on.
Well, I was at a friend's place, for the afternoon. And his girlfriend was there. And we were having a cup of tea and standing around at the backyard. I went, I need to go to the toilet. And he said, well, we've got two. We've got that one now. I said, that one's in your bedroom and that one's near your other person.
Yeah, that's no
And I'm
good.
going, I'm not using either of them.
Oh, so you went to a walk down the street?
We went down the park.
This is like a Married with Children episode. Al Bundy. Remember Al Bundy, a Married with Children? He had all these relatives staying. I remember this clearly. And he went to the service station to use a toilet, and there was a lineup of guys, and they had a big conversation. What are you doing here? Oh, my mother-in-law's over.
Imagine how I felt. I go in there, and then I get a stern talking to from the toilet. Like, I need to know that. And then there's no toilet paper. And then anyway. So you were embarrassed to go at your friend's house, so you went to a park. Well, I think that...
Did they hang outside and wait for you, or did you say, I'll be right, just leave me, I'm going to go for a little walk? Okay, again, I'm going to tell you what really... There was no toilet paper. He goes, I've got some napkins from lunch. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this. I shouldn't be. Hand them in around the corner. What a great episode of a sitcom.
Yeah, well, it is.
It is. Yeah. But people are reluctant to use your toilet.
Oh, people are reluctant to do that sort of... Like, I know people that never did it at work.
Oh, I used to do it at work.
When I worked in an office... Some people did the opposite. They would save it up and do it for work, meaning they were doing that on...
Yeah, I used to take the newspaper in and go, when I worked in an office, here we go. But also I picked a toilet no one went to. There was no one around in this old building. Yeah, it was great. Oh, it was good times.
Yeah, I can't get that image out of my head now, but anyway.
Man's greatest pleasure. One of the great joys in life.
You must have kids who come knocking on the door when you...
Oh, absolutely. And when they were younger, I was sitting on the toilet once and Barney, my youngest, came around the corner with a milk carton and a glass. He said, can I have a drink of milk? And then he goes, it smells in here. I said, yeah, it's a toilet. I'm not wearing a nappy like you baby. True story. Enough toilet talk.
Enough toilet talk. Don't play All You Need Is Love right now. Just play
the
our
music.
theme and don't think about that stuff forever again.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related, and now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast. Yeah. And have you heard Nellie Thomas's new podcast? Chapter 1?
Oh, I can tell you now, if there's one pleasure in life I have,
you love talking books.
I love talking books. I was listening to one on the way here.
Oh, what one?
I don't want to say.
Deepak Chopra's. But anyway, Nellie Thomas got this podcast. She's a great comedian and she reads the first chapter of new books.
Well,
so,
you know why?
Great introduction.
It relaxes you because it takes you back to having a bedtime story read to you. So you go into this.
It's a form of hypnotism.
It's a form of hypnotism.
That's what someone said to me once.
Yeah, and let's be honest, they do a bit of the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah.
The only minor problem is if you're in traffic and then you sometimes, and a new character comes into the scene, you worry more about the traffic than the new character coming in. Then you get a few pages and you go, who's Graham?
Distraction.
But having said that.
So what book are you listening to? Why is it embarrassing? Is it a self-help one? Is it one?
A self-help one.
Yeah, well, they're okay. I read them occasionally.
It's just how to deal with
public toilets.
What are the big ones at the moment?
I was just on school camp. How do you think that is when you want to go to the toilet? And so I'm trying to time it when the kids aren't going to use the toilet. And as soon as you sit down, Barney's dad, were you in there? I need some pine cones from the tree.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm going to the toilet.
The great thing about it, let's move on from this shortly.
Yeah,
is everyone does it. So therefore, it's a great leveler.
I think the Queen does.
The Queen probably. Do you reckon she has like the paper already set to go?
Yeah, I reckon there's a maid doing that.
Really?
He's a great leveler.
No.
I don't know. Prince Charles is someone that dresses him, so...
Really?
Yeah, apparently. Someone who dresses him.
Holds his underpants out and he steps into them.
I don't know. That's what they always say.
It wouldn't be bad, though. If you wanted to pay for something, best have you.
Get someone to dress you. Dressing can be annoying. Dressing yourself. Putting your socks on.
Because doing your
shoelaces. As you get older...
When you do TV shows... Which you and I
have wardrobe.
Yeah, wardrobe, and quite often they will dress. They won't do your underpants, but they do everything else. They'll help you on and off with things, especially if you've got to... Anyway, you don't need to know that. I think we've prattled
Should we get our topics?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Google and back rub.
Well, Google is one of those words that has now become a word in the dictionary. Go and Google that.
This is a made-up word, is it?
Well, no, it's a brand that is turned into... Like Hoover, Bic...
Surely it was something before it was Google.
Was Google an actual word?
I think...
Hang on, let's ask Sam.
I think it's derivative of a word meaning 1 by 100 zeros. It means a lot, I think.
Okay, let's ask Sam. Sam, was Google a word before Google?
A googol is 10 to the 100th power. A googol is larger than the number of elementary particles in the universe, which amount to only 10 to the 80th power. A googolplex is the number 10, or equivalently, 10, written out in ordinary decimal notation. It is 1 followed by 10 to the power of 100 zeros. That is, a 1 followed by a googol zeros.
All right, so it's like a mathematical thing. It's like pi or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
all right.
It's telling you that because that's something about Google that I find a little bit showy-offy.
What?
Which is they go, you put in, remedies for headache. And then it goes 2 million hits, and then it goes, just show how clever I am, in 1.5 seconds. I'm like,
yeah.
It's just going, how clever am I? In 1.5, I've got 2 million hits. I didn't need to know that. Just do it and get on with it. You go on.
Google searches, Glenn Robbins. Glenn Robbins' wife is the number 2 one.
Oh, really?
Glenn Robbins' characters, Glenn Robbins' TV shows. That's it, basically.
Okay, what about you? Go on. Dave O'Neill.
It's probably the same. It'd be very similar, I reckon. I don't have really characters, do I?
Dave O'Neill. Put in Dave O'Neill school camps.
No. Dave O'Neill pilot, Dave O'Neill Instagram, Dave O'Neill family.
Yeah. Wonder what percentage of, people have Googled their name. Most people would have.
You know what? Google is amazing because, like, Barney will come home from school and go, Dad, I want to have a play date at this kid's house. And I go, what's his name? Philip Smith. What's his dad's name? And then I'll look at the parent list and and then I Google the mum and dad, and they always come up, like in work profiles or, Philip Smith is like an RMIT professor, and then his wife is, and then you Google the wife and she's got a totally different
And what would
career
happen
or
if you has done time in for?
yeah.
You'd go, you can't go around
you
there.
can't go around there.
And in fairness, if he's done his time, then he's done his
Paid
his
crime to
He paid his debt to society.
It's true.
Yeah, but it is good to know.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. Google is like, it's amazing. And this guy, again, another guy at school, suspected his partner was having an affair because this phone number kept appearing on her phone bill, mobile phone bill, and he would get all the bills. He Googled it. It was a guy at work. Yeah. So you can Google a number and it comes up. Often when I get a missed call, I Google numbers and it says insurance scam, don't answer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Or, the office of blah, blah, the vet or someone. I'm like, okay, I should ring them back.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So Google it's like a mini private detective, Google.
And the deeper you can go deeper beyond, can't you? You can go all the way down and get a full profile on someone.
Well, Franklin Ajar,
the American comedian, very funny.
He was in Deadwood and
has just done the
Bridesmaids.
And do you know Deadwood's doing a movie at the moment? They've just finished a movie. Yeah. So if you're a fan of Deadwood, which did 3 series, they've got a final tally movie.
Really? Is he in that?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, they've just wrapped it up.
Because he lives near me now, so I see him down the street because he's retired.
Yes.
But he said Google made it really hard for him to meet women because of course he's a black American guy. He looks good for his age.
He does look good.
And so he would meet women. They say, how old are you? And he'd go, 40. And they Google, you're 65. Pre-Google, no one knew how old he was.
So you don't want that happening.
You don't want that happening.
When did you first hear of the internet? And this is boring, I know. But do you remember someone saying there's this thing called...
Yeah.
Remember that?
Lived in a shared house, and a girl called Karen Flavel, who we used to live with, went on about it all the time. And she was an early adopter of the internet, and she was trying to get on board with it. But I don't know if she ever did. Like she was always trying to think of schemes and stuff to get. Like if she had come home and said, "I want to sell houses on the internet," she would be a multi-millionaire now. Because that first person that said, "I want to sell cars on the internet, I want to sell houses on the internet," is the person who made a lot of money. Because now you can, most things, well, maybe not all things, but there's constantly new things coming up on the internet. Where were you reckon, when you...
Oh, I just remember having coffee with a friend who was kind of high-tech. He was a director, and he said, you know what I did last night? I got my computer, and I connected it up to the phone, and I was able to speak to computers all around the world. I'm going...
It's a sci-fi movie.
What
year do you reckon that was?
Mid-90s? Would that
90s,
be right?
90s. Mobile phones came in the 90s, so yeah, internet was 90s.
I remember my agent saying to me, are you online? And I went, what's that? What's online, man?
What's online,
and then when I was online, I would often go, I'm online now. I remember the first time I got a text.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Did you? And someone said, did you get my text last night? I said, what? And I said, I saw some writing on my phone, but I didn't know what it was.
You saw some
writing? She goes, that was me. That was a text.
How funny. I was with a friend of yours, Mick Malloy, at a school. He was doing my comedy night at the school that you've done.
Yeah.
And this was a few years ago. And he's worse than us. He's like a Luddite when it comes to technology. Yeah. And he goes, I just got a mobile phone. And he goes, my brother said he sent me a message, but there's no message here. And I go, you're looking at the emails, mate. You got to go into the text messages. He goes, what's that? So it's like teaching a child how to use a phone. You got to go to text messages. It's different from the email messages.
I toured with him, and but we stay in the same hotel. Then he'd ring me about 5 o'clock and go, what are you doing? And I go, nothing. He goes, can you come around and iron my shirt for me?
No.
He did.
Yeah, his mum does all that stuff for him.
And then he said, while you're here, can you put a load of washing on for me?
I said, look, a child.
Can you? I'll put his underpants out for him and put his shirt out and
brushed his hair,
and
yeah, Google's interesting. Google has changed the world. But remember, there were other search engines. There was Yahoo.
There was Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Yeah, Jeeves.
Just Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
Yahoo was the other big one.
Yeah, Yahoo. Yahoo for a while there was going well.
And what now is? I would imagine everyone's got Google.
Yes.
And no one, or those ones are just, people just don't bother having them.
You know where they don't? In China and places like they have their own search engines and they're called something different. Like they don't have Twitter over there.
Didn't you meet the guy that was in charge of something?
I met the guy that was in charge of a guy who met the guy who was in charge of the internet in Malaysia. And he goes, sometimes I get bored and I pull out this cord. Internet gone in Malaysia. Internet gone. Plug it back in. Internet back. Yeah, he said he was in a basement with all different cords. Oh, I've forgotten that story. I think I've told it on here before.
Yeah.
All different cords with Facebook, Twitter, into this basement. Yeah, because they're also being monitored by the government. So, yeah, but, there are people like proper cops and private detectives use deeper search engines than Google. And they're called. They've got to pay for them, I think, and they're called something else.
The dark.
Not the dark web, but a deeper search, because Google just works on an algorithm. So if you went on this deeper search
and said perverse things Dave O'Neill's done in his past.
or just Glenn Robbins' background, it'll just go really wide,
right?
Because I think Google, it's not as wide as you think it is.
Oh, it's not, or
I don't think it is.
What do you mean? Oh, wide or white?
Wide.
Wide.
If you get deep, it's not as deep. But you go to these other search engines, then they're really deep.
Because I was reading the other day that people use incognito on their.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Incognito's on the iMac, and that's where it doesn't. It's not. So if you put it into history, it won't come up. But if you know how to get into your history, or you know how to do it properly, it's all there.
Yeah,
if you think you've done something sneaky on your computer, you haven't.
Yeah, you're right. It's all there. Search history, which, I don't know, this might put a little bit of a cold shiver through people listening. Clear history. Everyone's done that. Clear history.
Yeah, clear history, thinking that they're clear history. Okay. So.
What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever Googled, do you reckon? I mean, I Googled the other night. I Googled recipes and stuff a lot.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And how long can you leave chicken in a fridge? I've Googled that before.
That's so good. Sort of things that you would ask your partner or someone.
Well, it's kind of put Dad out of work, hasn't it? Mums and dads. Because I would just used to ring Mum and Dad for that kind of stuff. Like how to cook a schnitzel, I would have rung Mum. Or how to, to start the lawnmower, I would have rung my dad. But these days, how to replace a washer.
Yep.
I've Googled that before.
Like YouTube.
YouTube.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you would think the smallest thing that you would think, I mean, how to hammer a nail in. If you wanted to look that up, that would be something.
That'll be there on YouTube, yeah.
I was trying to think of the most weird thing I've ever Googled. Oh, yes. How was this? In my car, it's broken down at a friend's place, and then he said, "Can you open the bonnet?"
Oh, you know how to open the bonnet?
I didn't know how to open the bonnet. So I Google.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I Google how to open bonnet.
Yeah.
A4 Audi. Okay, I've got an Audi. Get over it.
Yeah, but it's not a very flash one.
What?
What model is that? What year is that Audi?
2015.
Oh, is it?
It's Quattro. Turbo.
I didn't. It looks. Gee, okay. It doesn't look that.
Okay,
I'm thinking of the right car.
Might look. I bring it down. Anyway,
you got to wash it. Is it silver?
It's gunmetal grey, dude.
Gunmetal grey.
Have you noticed, just while we're on that, have you noticed that when you go to the supermarket or wherever, big shopping centre, that most cars are either black, white, grey or silver?
Yeah. There's hardly any reds or yellows.
There's hardly any reds or yellows or any. So you look out there, tones of grey. You go, where's my car?
Oh, it's hard. I love those utes you can get. There must be Holdens, and there's one that seriously looks like wheat. It's like the colour of urine.
Oh, right.
It's like a guy's walking into a dealership and go, you got any cars colour of wheat? You got any we call this urine over here.
Anyway, so I put in YouTube, I put in open bonnet. So I'm sitting at the car with my thing, open bonnet of Audi. And they go, yep, I had trouble too. Just reached out, and it was quite hard to find.
See, that's great.
It's fantastic.
That is really good. That's great what Google's for.
Okay, so we've got your Google and we've got your back rub.
Who loves a back rub? Who doesn't love a back rub?
Did I tell you when I was at the golf club? I hate talking about the golf. Oh, listen
the golf club. Well, you are wearing a pink polo shirt, so
hang on. I'm wearing a pink polo shirt
and shorts,
and I drive an Audi.
You look like you're from Caddyshack, and you're the guy that Rodney Dangerfield hangs shit on. You know, like that. Well, you step on a dock here.
But you've got a Brashes t-shirt on. Is that something you'd wear on Spicks and Specs?
That probably. Yes, I took the Brashes bag on with me to Spicks and Specs.
So is Brashes kind of cool?
Yeah, Brashes is retro cool. This is a t-shirt that my partner got me. It's a remake, but people stop you in the street and go, "Oh my God, Brashes! I used to work there." Yeah, and then other people go, "Is Brashes still open?" It's not open.
That would have closed 20 years ago?
96 it closed because I bought my TV at the closing down sale. I remember it quite clearly.
And you got a t-shirt by the look of it.
Got a t-shirt.
What was it saying? Oh, yes, that's right. There was okay.
You're at the golf club.
Get over it. Okay. So
massages are offered up in weird places now. Like at my mum and dad's church fete, there's a woman doing massages, like an old lady. You can just lie there and.
At a church fete.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And you have a close look at the qualification on the wall.
Yeah.
When they start,
Well, you were a big fan of the shopping centre.
Yeah, I go for the shopping. And they do things that you go, that's probably not right. I was in Bali and I got...
Oh, you got to be careful there.
And she was walking on my back.
Yeah,
and then she got my neck and starts going like, what? And she goes, I'm going, if I have a stroke, I don't have a stroke in Bali.
Yeah, I don't have a stroke in Bali. Because my physio, Nigel, always maintains he gets a lot of people coming in. This guy walked out one day with his wife. I'm like, God, what's wrong with them? Nigel goes, they came back from Bali. Bad massage.
Yeah, massage in Bali. Anyway, so I was at the golf club and this girl was massaging this guy after the game, right?
Is that normal in golf? I didn't think golf was that strenuous unless you're in the PGA.
Sitting very much in judgment. We're swinging sticks pretty hard,
Yeah.
I'm walking 18 holes. No wonder his shoulders get a bit sore.
Yeah, they're all
anyway, so she massaged him. And then I walked past her and she was sitting there.
Is she a proper masseuse?
No, she was just at the bar.
Just a punter?
With having a glass of wine. Oh. Anyway, so I go...
It's foreplay.
There you go. Give hers a bit of just a rub and she goes, oh, my God. And she goes to the rest of the girls on the table, girls, you got to try this.
So you started giving massages?
Well, I didn't, but yes, I did. And then I had to do the whole table and they're going, oh, my God.
Wasn't Cal Knight famous for his sausage
magic fingers? Yeah. I've got to be honest, I am pretty... You're
pretty good?
You know who I massaged? I massaged... what's his name?
Big name drop.
Oh, God.
Soccer player?
Famous soccer player.
Where's
underpants? Where's underpants?
Oh, Beckham?
Beckham, yeah.
You met David Beckham?
I met David Beckham, yeah.
How did you meet David Beckham?
I was doing a radio show with Andy Lee at Fox.
And he came in?
And we went and chatted to him. And then we're talking about the fact that because I have my massage that I do, then I have a very good finishing move. Because your average massage does the karate chop finish.
Yeah.
You go, what is that? That's not a finishing move.
No, I don't like
Where
that.
I have a finishing move which runs down the arms.
Body rub?
Yeah, and I press my penis up against the back of their neck. That's that's the finishing move. No, but seriously, I rub their arms anyway. So with Beckham, and then we talked about massages, and we said to him, Glenn has a very good finishing move with his massage. Would you like one?
Oh, God.
And then I gave him a bit of a massage, and then I did the finishing move, and he went, oh, yeah, it's all right, isn't it? It's all right. It's quite good, isn't it? He was a lovely guy.
Yeah, he seems like a nice person.
Yeah. But you get a... I
get a regular massage, from Ross.
Once a week?
No, once a month. Just back and shoulders.
Oil?
Yeah, I started going... I mean, I used to get massages off and on. I could never find anyone that really, was good for me. And then this woman is really good. So I go to her regularly. A minute? Well, how much is it? That's a good question. I don't like an hour. I think an hour too long. I like 45 minutes.
I know that Hamish Blake did a stunt for his radio show where he had a massage for 8 hours.
8 hours?
It was like a challenge.
What?
I mean, I'd consider doing
They do some crazy stunts, don't they? I saw one once where one of them Andy had to be blind and Hamish had to be deaf. So they had all this gear on them for like overnight.
And then go...
And live in society. And there was a moment where Andy got really depressed, and he's like, "I can't. This is terrible. I can't. I can't." Right.
He couldn't hear or he couldn't see?
I think he couldn't see. Well, if you had to choose, what would you lose? Your sight or your hearing? You'd lose your hearing, wouldn't you? It'd just be easier to function in the world with sight.
My dad lost his hearing, which means I probably will.
Yeah, right.
So let's just celebrate me being here now, being able to hear you.
Okay. You'll be here yelling at me. Hey, what is it again?
But he always said that you can make fun of deaf people, but you can't make fun of blind people. But I don't know whether that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
You can more easily make fun of deaf people, can't you? Because they can't hear you.
They can't hear you.
Because I was at the airport once and getting on an aeroplane, and this woman came up to me and said, "We, the deaf, find you highly offensive."
Why?
Because I used to do Uncle Arthur, who was deaf, and they're going, I'm not generalising.
But he had a hearing aid. He wasn't that deaf.
But she was saying that you're making all deaf people look stupid. And I'm going, I think you're correlating.
But he was elderly, though. That's your elderly deaf.
Just because you're deaf doesn't mean you're stupid.
No, we know that.
And I wasn't trying to say that. But have we got many deaf listeners?
I don't think so. We might have a few blind listeners, actually, but we don't. My uncle's blind. He listens to podcasts and radio. I don't know if he listens to this one, but he loves, because that is for blind people, radio and podcasts is a great thing. For deaf, I did last grand final day. I did.
You did a gig for the deaf, for the blind.
No. I did a gig just in a footy club like in Dandenong.
Yeah.
Pretty rough crowd. And there was a guy just sitting down the front staring at me. It was a great gig. Everyone was laughing. I go, "What's wrong with you, mate?" Yeah. And someone goes, "He's deaf." He goes, "I'm deaf." I'm like, okay, fair enough. All right. People found it very amusing that I didn't know what was going on. Like this guy, he's deaf, you idiot. You know. Yeah. So. Anyway.
Back rubs.
You like a massage. You get the shopping centre massage.
I go to the shop. We go on Sundays. We do a bit of shopping, then pop in. And
every Sunday.
Well, did I tell you about the one that I was getting that Selena had finished hers and I was sitting down getting mine done.
And you thought she was really good?
Have I told you the story?
Yeah. And she was on the phone?
Yeah.
It's great. I've already told that story. That's a great story.
So I'm going, wow, she knows everything about me.
She's concentrating.
And she was doing it with one hand.
Yeah.
And texting at the same time.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's really disappointing. I would have been better off not knowing that.
Yeah, you would have.
Yeah. And Selena said, she was texting.
I saw a train driver texting the other day, taking out of his station. About to crash.
Do you like getting your bones cracked?
No, because that's just air bubbles or something. That's not actually bones cracking, you know that.
But, okay, do you like that when it goes pop? I love it.
Oh, you like that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Is there any part of your body you don't like getting massaged?
No, that's a good question.
Testicles?
Because I get stretched. I just come for my morning stretch.
Oh, yeah, you get your body gets manipulated a lot.
Yeah, but you got to keep in contact with your body. And she pulls me around to positions. She goes, quite flexible, given my age. And I said, I've always been loose in the hips, which comes in handy.
Is it good?
I think so, but I've got a bad back. I've got a herniated disc. But but I've never been to a chiropractor, and they're big on the cracking.
Yeah. I've been to one once. I think I prefer physio.
Yeah, I prefer because then you can treat yourself
for that kind of stuff.
Okay, this is interesting. I think I'm getting
a vibe.
Well, because Google is one of those. I know that they're one of those places that I know. You know what else Google do? They don't mow their lawns. They have goats.
Oh yeah, they're one of those trendy startups that types that
hey, man,
and possibly treat their workers badly. They have beanbags and table tennis tables.
Beanbags and table tennis tables.
And then it's absolute crap.
And you can't be more than 15 metres from food, apparently. They have they have a little buffet everywhere, which is dangerous. Very dangerous.
One of the dads at camp told me a funny story that he asked his daughter about the holiday they'd been on. What did you like? What was the best thing? And this little kid said, I love the buffalo breakfast. Oh, cute. The buffet breakfast, she meant. I wanted to have a buffalo breakfast in Google. I just read this book about all those startups and how they treat people badly. Well, some of them, like the first big one was the computer company HP, Hewlett Packard.
Oh yeah,
started by
HP guy. I've got HP. I've got an HP printer.
Yeah,
should I get rid of it?
They were great. No, they were great.
HP were good.
Fantastic company. They treat their workers really well. But they, you know what? And same with Steve Jobs and all those, Mac. They're all good because they created the technology that they were selling and working with. It was their idea. Whereas now with startups, they bring in these venture capitalists, these ruthless money men, and they just buy the idea or get some tech guy to come with the idea, and then they manage the company, and their managing of the company's bad.
It's like a sweatshop.
Yeah, it's like a sweatshop. Absolutely, it's like a sweatshop.
And there's this thing,
and they sell it on the fact that you get to work at Uber. You know, Uber was one of the classic ones they talked about in this book. You get to work at Uber, it's great. And it's not great. They treat people badly. Yeah, it's not good.
You should go into politics.
I should.
You should do part-time politics. You should be like...
A council? Local council?
Yeah, like start with a local council.
I've been to local council meetings. It's no fun.
Look, are you...
okay, I've got an idea.
Okay, but you can't...
We need some music?
You have to pretend to think about it. And Can I suggest some music?
Yeah, go on.
When you go and get a back rub, does she play music?
Yeah, she has SBS Chill on. And we always talk about, SBS Chill?
Yes. I don't mind a bit of SBS
Yeah, but occasionally you just hear a song and I go to her, this is not chill. What is going on? We just reckon the person programming it just going, fuck it, I'm just going to chuck on some rave track, or something like, there's like guitar going and then you hear all the classics. You hear, may not know the bands, but you know the songs, Portishead, Massive Attack, all these songs from the 90s, they play them a lot because they sort of sound a bit massagey.
Right.
They're great. Rhythmic, gentle sort of songs, but
what was it like when first time you came around to my house?
Oh, yeah, you had your music on, didn't you? You had your Vibes or some. What was it?
I don't know.
No, you had Mambo. I said, what is this music?
Mambo?
You had like a Spotify thing on, didn't you? You had a playlist.
Yeah.
And it was like, Mambo-y, jazzy.
Which is a bit sus when you come around for a movie about comedy and then suddenly I come out.
Kind of.
Glenn, what are we doing?
I'm not into Spotify for that. I just play CDs or records. I'm not into that.
Yeah, you're old school.
I'm old school.
The t-shirt.
Yeah, it's the Brash's t-shirt.
What? And is there a music?
Is there I can't. Do you want to play some massage music?
I'm thinking
dolphin music. Remember when you go to Byron
music.
Bay, they put the dolphin music on for your massage.
I had a massage in Byron Bay, and the first thing he goes to me, he goes, I'm picking up some imbalance in your kidneys. I'm going, hello.
Yeah.
Are you qualified? By the way, I don't really need to be reminded if they're yeah. And then I had another one where he didn't touch me. He just held his hands above me.
Reiki. That's good Reiki, I think.
Do the rubbity-dub-dub, and then I'm out of here.
Byron Bay, you'll find all sorts of extreme stuff.
Panpipes?
Oh, panpipes is good.
Panpipes or dolphins?
I reckon bit of dolphin music. Bit of massage, classic dolphin music.
Yeah. Yeah, if people are listening, they can go into a bit of a Zen moment.
Because, in the old days,
concentrate on your breath.
You just get a bit of Enya, sail away, sail away.
Yeah, but as you say, that's the notch up, but there's a notch below that some people actually get quite tense when you put it on.
Yeah, and you can't recognise anything. What's this noise? Like whales or
there's
dolphins? There's
white noise as well. I don't know. That's a cop-out. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we go for cliched annoying.
Yep. Massage music.
Massage music.
So relaxed now. You have got the oil out and you are rubbing me. I love it. Do you prefer a female massage person or male?
I don't mind, as long as they've got strong hands.
Okay.
Because there's nothing worse than a what I call a resort massage, which is the girl or the boy has just where
they're weak.
Well, they've done
I'm not going too hard, am I? You're not going too hard.
You haven't learned, because there's myotherapy and there's
Yeah.
And of course, there's a proliferation of.
It
was on the news the other day.
Thai massage joints.
Yeah. Happy
ending. As I asked my friend, we won't name him, we'll just call him Husey, and he said, I said, are those joints dodgy? He goes, I think they can be if you want them to be. That was his exact quote. I think they can be if you want them to be.
Everyone heard.
Well, there's one near my house that's open at 11 o'clock at night. Now, who's sitting around on their couch at 10:30 going to their wife, my shoulder's a bit... I might nick up to the massage joint.
You go, darling. You get that shoulder.
Well, this tradie type, he went to one in Ringwood and he goes, I had an injury. I had like a shoulder thing. All of a sudden, she's trying to give me, some sort of below-the-waist action. I'm like, I'm not actually here for that.
I'm actually for the sore shoulder. Anyway, they would go back home going, much better, darling.
They would send local council inspectors to find out. So it's some guy's job to go in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, lie down and go, this is sexual here.
Got a little mustache and spectacles and a clipboard.
Yeah, a clipboard. Hang on a second, I'll get my clipboard out.
Yeah.
Sexual tick.
Did you just ask me for a hand relief? Is that what you're appropriating? Because that is not no, I'll have to cite you section 4A712, which is inappropriate hand movement. Anyway.
I've never been to one of those places, but I know my friend went to one and the woman came out in a sailor suit and he's like, hang on, what's going on here?
This is not right.
A sailor suit.
Hang on. Anyway, we've heard the music. We've talked about
I'll go have a crack. I think back rub is one of the most Googled things. Back rub massage is one of the most Googled things.
I'm going to go on your theme, which is the table tennis tables and the...
it's one of the things offered at Google.
Well, that's good too, actually. Yeah. No, that everyone... Yeah, as soon as if you join the company, you get a back rub.
Get a back rub straight away.
Yeah. Just, bit of a back rub. I'm going to go... Everyone gets a back rub.
Everyone gets a back rub?
Yeah.
All right.
Once
okay. What is the answer, Sam?
Google was initially called Backrub when it was a research project at Stanford University back in 1996. Had the founders not changed the name, we might today be saying Old Back Rub It instead of I'll Google it.
I'm just going to back rub that.
I'm going to back rub that.
So what they were inferring was Google was something that it was a little bit of short-term pleasure. Is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, back rub. Yeah. Hang on, Sam's got more info.
The nickname for the project references the importance of backlinks in how the search engine originally worked. That company was launched as Google in 1998.
Oh, okay. So it's a technical thing. Backlinks, Glenn. Backlinks.
Yeah,
technical.
They've just made that up.
I don't know. Sam made that up. Sam made that up. I didn't make it up.
Just because if it was such a good idea, they would have gone with back rub.
They would have gone with back rub.
Yeah, except they went with a mathematical number.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
It is interesting when you hear what the name was gonna be for something, and then what it ended up being.
And it's amazing what the name, because when you hear it, you often go, "That's a stupid name," but it's actually taken on the meaning of the.
Yeah, well, you've talked about TV shows like Spicks and Specks, for example. Whatever. You just go, that's a stupid name, but then it just takes on the mantle of the show, and
sometimes
that's it.
they don't have meaning, but you instill meaning on it because you go, well, it must have meaning. I may not know what it is. Then you instill meaning, go, it must be. And then they go, no, we just made it up, sounded good. You go, oh, okay, well, let's take it on. That's the thing. Don't worry too much about the name, because worry about the quality of the program.
It's all in your book. It's all in your book.
It's chapter 3. The subtext of the title is that chapter, and
because when you hear some of the failed movie names and stuff for movies or TV shows, they're always quite funny. I can't think of any of them. But also names of fruit and stuff, what they used to be called. Kiwi fruit used to be called. What did kiwi fruit used to be called, Sam?
Chinese gooseberry.
Yeah, Chinese gooseberry. See, that could be deemed offensive.
Kiwi
and they named
fruit.
it kiwi fruit to make it more marketable.
Oh, I see. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Google back rubs. Next time you get on. So I reckon the woman that was giving me a back rub was Googling.
She was Googling. She was Googling what was Google called originally.
Yeah.
It's called back rub. What you're doing right now.
Gosh, that's interesting.
Oh, I could do with a back rub right now.
It's interesting how Google they often write the Google in a theme base.
Oh, what do you mean?
So if it's going into winter, they'll have it live.
Oh, yeah, there's a person whose job that is, or it's an artist's birthday or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you click on it and it has a little animation.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, yeah, you can click on it, can you?
Yeah, you can click on it. And so say if it's Einstein's birthday and it'll be Albert Einstein-ish in the Google words, click on it and it'll have a little cartoon about Einstein. You didn't know that?
No.
Wow, you've learned something new.
Yeah. Can I give you Einstein's greatest quote? That I often use.
What is that? E equals MC squared?
Oh, you know that.
No, what's his greatest quote?
Well, it's one that I use a lot. And get your pens out for this.
All right.
Okay. If you can't explain something simply, you don't really understand it.
What about the guy who invented Wheel of Fortune and several game shows?
Yeah, what did he say?
Don't explain it, just do it.
What about the guy who was going to put in the electric chair? The Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, we learned that on this podcast, and he said, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
And he went, that's a good idea for a slogan for shoes.
What about what Paul Hogan said? That's not a knife. This is the knife.
Jeez, I hope you're jotting this down, because there'll be a test later. If you got a quote that you go, that's a pretty good quote.
That I invented?
Oh, we've talked about that before.
Oh, we have. Oh, what's a good quote?
What was yours?
Oh,
It'd be one of your stand-up lines, wouldn't it?
No. I say to the kids, find out what you love to do and do it as a job. You should get them on a T-shirt. Yeah.
That's good.
Have you got anything that you quote to people? Choose life.
Oh, yeah, choose life.
Choose life. Everybody Wang Chung tonight?
I give more credit to your instinct.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Give more credit to your instinct on your T-shirt.
Yeah, Glenn Robbins.
Glenn Robbins.
Yeah. I've had people say to me, blah, blah, blah. They'll say a quote or something, and I go, that's really good. And then they'll say, you told me that about...
You said that.
You said that.
Yeah, I quote you. I quote you sometimes.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, I've quote you too.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mutual quote.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What do you quote me about? Hawaiian's better than salami pizza. Dave O'Neill said that.
Yeah, milkshakes are the only flavour to have is banana.
Oh, exactly. It's best. It's the best ever.
Interested in new books? Subscribe to Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is a new podcast with me, Nellie Thomas. Each episode, you'll hear the first chapter of a new release book from top publishers. Subscribe and listen to Chapter 1, a new podcast with me, Nellie Thomas. Search for Chapter 1 where you're listening now.